This week's podcast is going to have no commercials. I'm just going into it. So, Talking with Topher, episode 65. It's Monday, June 28th, and I'm recording. I haven't showered. Nothing. No. But it's a beautiful day out there. I went to jiu-jitsu this morning to try and bring some normality into my life right now because, I'm dealing with the passing or the death of my grandmother. And it's hard. I think not only do we as people not know how to deal with and process death very well at all, grieving is, it sucks. But at the same time, when people are very close to you and you lose them, it's hard. It's painful. And I'm dealing with all of those emotions right now. And that's why I'm not doing this podcast the way I normally do it. I know I've got some new subscribers, so I do appreciate you. And I thank you. But I'm just not feeling myself right now. And it's scary. It's scary because I know where I want to go when I'm dealing with this intense pain that I don't know what to do with. But I know that I can't do that. I cannot drink. I want to really bad. My first thoughts when this was all happening was, I can't drink. That's my first thought, is I can't drink. My second thought is I want to. So I'm fighting myself because I don't want to feel this pain. And even though smoking pot is enjoyable, it doesn't help. All it does is cause me to think more, which can increase and sometimes decrease the pain. But it doesn't numb you like alcohol did. So she passed Saturday morning, probably about 5:45 in the morning. And I got really lucky. One, she was a wonderful woman. Babysat me all the time when I was a young kid. We had some really good times. I was not the greatest grandson. I mean, you've heard my stories. So, and if you're new to the podcast, go back and listen to some old stories that I've told. Those are things that, Ma did find out about, and she was not very happy. I mean, when I was a young kid, I was out of control. I would know that she was taking care of us. And when I lived in Lynn, I, snuck out of the backyard while she was watching us, and she had to chase me up Hamilton Ave in Lynn. And I ran to a duplex because I remembered that one of my friends lived up there, but I didn't remember what door he was at. And then I'd run up the stairs and just start knocking on doors. And then eventually my friend's mom answered the door and she brought me inside. And then, of course, called my house and got a hold of my grandmother. But she was chasing me around Lynn. They lived right across the street from us on that street. And we had a lot of good memories I have a lot of good memories from my childhood because of that. There was a tree that we used to climb all the time, and I fell off of it once and really like hurt the inside of my leg, fell on a trunk, just fucked myself up. And my grandfather cut that thing down immediately after. He passed in 91, so it's been 30 years since he's passed, and now my grandmother is joining him. Now, she was 94. She lived a great life. She lived a long life, right? And I'm so glad that I got to spend, 40 years with her, and I started doing a lot of repairing to our relationship probably about 10 years ago. And I got really close, and I would go down there as much as possible and see her, and we made some really good memories. And when I really started changing things around, 4.5 years ago, she was really proud of me. She told me that, and it meant a lot, and it still means a lot, which is one of the reasons why I can't go back to where I was. I wasn't going to do this today, and I don't know if I'm uploading this, and if I do, I hope you enjoy. But I'm doing this because if I don't get these thoughts out of my head, I'm just going to sit on them, and it's not like I'm going to call anybody and talk to them about this stuff. I'm going to figure it out for myself. But she was proud of me. She told me that. And I shared as much as I could with her while she was still here. But, I got a call Wednesday night, last Wednesday, and she'd gone to the hospital. She was given 24 to 48 hours. They were keeping her comfortable. DNR was signed. All that shit. And I went there. It was only 2 at a time, so me and my sister hung out while my mom and my aunt were somewhere else. And then we hung out in there for like an hour and talked and, told her we love her. And then me and my sister had to hang out for an hour in the car while my aunt and my mom did the exact same thing. And then, I got home really late. Obviously, did not go to morning jiu-jitsu. And then Friday, she gets moved to hospice. So she was in the Salem, Massachusetts hospital. Then she got moved to hospice in Dover, Massachusetts. And I couldn't make it on Friday because she had just been moved and all this other stuff. So I talked to my mom and my sister, and they said, you should go down there as soon as you can. And I said, okay, I will go down. Oh, no. So stupid. She got moved into hospice on Thursday. I went and saw her Friday night. And I'm so glad I did. I kind of scared the shit out of the nurse because I got down there and it's like 8:37 at night, and I check in and I go inside and I'm sitting with her. And at that moment in time, the stupid phone, I was going through a few things. And I put my phone on silent. But as I was doing that, the nurse walked in, and I startled her because when I walked into the room, I think that was just a power surge. When I walked into the room, I didn't turn any lights on. I just grabbed a chair, and I sat up next to her because she was sleeping. I really didn't want to, wake her up and disturb her too much. I kind of figured that this is what she's doing most of the time anyways. So I sat down and checked through my phone, startled the nurse, And then I just talked to her about old times that we had, things that I remember, good times, bad times. And I never said goodbye, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to say goodbye. I wanted to leave it open for tomorrow, which would have been Saturday. Because I was gonna go see her again Saturday night, if I could. And so I was, just talking about stupid shit. And then I was like, you know what, Ma? We love you. And at the same time, I'm like, I understand. It's probably a good time. Everything's so crazy right now. And maybe it is a good time to get off the planet, And I said that, and I wasn't I don't know. Now that I'm saying that again, I'm like, what was I saying? But I felt like she had gone through so much in her life, being born in 1927, being brought up in the Great Depression, and dealing with everything that came after that, and then raising a family, in the 1950s, and just living through all of that, and then, my mom having me and my sister, and then, she's seen a lot. She saw a lot. And I'm very glad that I got to pick her brain and get some stories out of her. And when I did my ancestry, I got to learn a lot about that side of the family. But when I was sitting there with her and we were going over this stuff, and I was talking about her chasing me around the neighborhood and coming up and seeing the house, and just, I basically was just talking to her for 40 minutes about, I don't even know, really. And then I said that to her. I said, Ma, I just feel like it's probably a good time to get off the planet, because who knows where we're all going to be in said 5 years. I mean, I'm not even giving it a 20-year window anymore. I'm like, where are we going to be in 5 years? Everything's changing so rapidly now, and I don't know if it's for the better. So I said that to her. I gave her a kiss, and I told her I would see her tomorrow. And then as I was leaving, I went back into the room, gave her another kiss, told her that we all love her and care about her. But I totally understood if it was her time to go. And then I went home. And next morning, I get a call from my sister around 7:30, I think. And she's like, I hate to be the one to call and tell you this, but Ma passed. And she told me that she told Ma to hang on because I was showing up that night. And I told her that I had told Ma that probably not a bad time for her to, I wanted her to fight. I wanted her to stay, but she's in pain. She was so sick. Cancer. I mean, she had fallen, broken some ribs. I mean, she was very, very ill and not doing good. And I'm glad she's not in pain anymore, but it doesn't take away the fact that I missed the hell out of her already. And I know that this pain is going to subside, and I know it's going to get easier with time. But death is so weird, right? It's so weird to deal with it. It's hard. It's painful. And I feel like we all don't know how to deal with it. I mean, we all deal with it in different ways. We all grieve differently. But it's like, I have so many people telling me that they're sorry for my loss. And I was talking to Tyler about this on the way to class this morning. And I'm just like, it's so weird, isn't it? We were always told that we're supposed to say we're sorry when we do something wrong. But here are all my friends and family saying that they're sorry for the loss. And I'm like, my brain got confused because I'm like, wait a minute. Aren't we supposed to say sorry when we've done something wrong? And none of you have done anything wrong. And I understand, I feel, actually, I don't even understand. I feel like we all don't know how to deal with death. So we just do what feels right. And what feels right is saying that you're sorry, that you lost somebody so close to you. And I understand that. But if you think about it, it's kind of weird, right? It's like, I mean, I'm obviously grieving and dealing with a lot right now, which is why I needed to do this for me. Because I have to remind myself that I don't need to drink. It's not important in my life. Actually, it just ruins my life every time. But I'm still sitting on the thought, still sitting on it, still thinking about it. And it seems like such an easy move. And I don't like easy. And I don't like feeling weak. And this is actually very hard for me right now. And I like doing difficult things. It makes me feel better. Makes me feel, I don't know. Right now, I just want to feel alive. I want to feel as alive as I can. Because for some reason, feeling alive, going through any type of emotion helps me deal with the death. And I don't know what that is. I did go for a run once this week, but I've been off. I screwed up a couple little things at the shop. Stupid, nothing important. TVs, ads, just a few things. But it's because I'm not in the game right now. I'm somewhere else. And it's okay. It is okay to feel this way. But I have to tell myself that because I feel like I'm being weak. I feel like I'm letting everybody else down around me. And it's so weird because that state of depression comes back. And I'm like, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of this feeling. And I did. I am. I'm working on it. I'm talking into the mic to help me get rid of this. I am trying to do anything that just is normal. Grocery shopping, food, whatever, taking a shower, just anything to bring some normality into my life so that I can at least stay functioning. But it's been so long to have someone so close pass that I am really struggling with my emotions right now. And I also didn't want to do this because I knew this is all I was going to talk about. And so many more people have gone through so much more than I have. Because of COVID, because of loss of jobs, because of losing houses, and just so much more. And here I am dealing with the death of my 94-year-old grandmother who died of natural causes. And we were all kind of expecting it I think it was like 2-3 years ago. We really expected this to go down. And so many people have gone through so much more than I have. But it doesn't make my struggle any less real. It doesn't make my temptations to drink any less real. And it doesn't make anything that I'm going through less important. But I do feel for all the people out there that have lost so much more than I have. But I got to deal with my shit too. And I can't really worry about whether or not what I'm doing is selfish. Because I don't think it's selfish. If you've lost someone close to you and you're dealing with these emotions as well, then you know that there's somebody else somewhere else dealing with what you're dealing with, and I'm making it through it. It's just going to be hard, and it's going to be difficult, and I needed to get this out. I've talked to, a few people this morning, got to get some stuff off my chest. Like I said, I screwed a few things up at the shop, but it's no big deal. He understands I'm grieving, and I'm going to take some time off of work because I'm not focused. And that's okay too. That's not a weakness. This is life and death. And right now, in my life, I am dealing with death. And it's weird. It's weird, it's difficult, it's painful, it's sad. It makes me angry. But I get happy and sad when I start thinking about all the good things. And then I was going through my phone and I found a voice message. And that really brought me to tears. Because it's so funny. It's so Ma. She called my phone thinking it was my mother's. And I have a voicemail of her asking my mom if she's going to be doing something and stopping by. And she didn't know if she was going to be able to because of the COVID protocols. And even though she called the wrong number, it was so nice to hear her voice. So it was just really nice. And I didn't know I had that. And I'm just really glad I found it. And I think all of this is what I need to grieve. So if I put this up, I know it's not my usual podcast. But if you're grieving too, I hope this helps. Because if you're fighting those demons to stay away from whatever you've been staying away from, I want you to know that you can. You don't have to give in to those old habits. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. I know that. I know it's not, but they're still there. So I know it's not going to help. And I just have to keep telling myself that. So, but that's what I'm going through right now. That's why I'm not posting. It's why I'm not uploading. It's going to be a hard week. Wednesday's the services. So I'm going to go into work tomorrow. And I don't have to wear a mask anymore. So I got something to look forward to. No more asking people to wear masks inside the store. Everybody can come in with or without a mask. It's whatever makes you comfortable. I'm fully vaccinated, and I don't care anymore. So that's a positive. And then we'll see where the rest of the week brings me. But I think I'm just going to put this up the way it is. I don't think it needs to be edited this week. But I just want to thank everybody for all of it, all the support, all the condolences from my friends, my family. I love you all. I appreciate it. I don't know how to show it. I'm just trying to. I hear all of you, and I'm just trying to get through this. And I do want you to know that I hear all of your. I thank all of you. I just thank all of you. I really do. So supportive. And to everybody watching, listening, and subscribing, I thank all of you too. All right. I know that I didn't do this one like I normally do. It's probably not uplifting. I'll make sure that's in the title and shit, but I'm just dealing with a lot of shit right now, and I'm trying to get through it. And so I just thank all of you for subscribing, watching, supporting the sponsors, and everything else like that. So all the rest of the nonsense, all of it. I do appreciate everybody. So thank you. I think I'm just going to call it a day now. I don't need to do all the normal stuff. You guys all know what to do, and if you don't, well, you'll figure it out. But until next week, I'll talk to you later.